Welcome to the new economic order. The countdown has begun. Are you ready? Take out your wallet. Take out a bill, any bill. Stare at it for a second. You think the money is yours because you have it in your pocket. You think the crisis is a miscalculation, a natural market storm. You're wrong. What you hold in your hand isn't real wealth, it's a debt certificate that can be cancelled at any moment. Scarcity isn't an accident, it's by design. Inflation isn't an economic phenomenon, it's a demolition tool. A perfectly calibrated demolition. In the next 12 minutes, you're going to discover the truth that the mainstream media is hiding. You're going to understand how everything you consider yours is being deliberately disconnected. Stay until the end. Welcome to the end of private property. We live under the psychological illusion of choice. You walk into the supermarket and see hundreds of different brands. You go to the dealership and choose from dozens of car models. You turn on the television and choose which politician to vote for. But behind this enormous smokescreen, diversity is an absolute myth. The global economy is monopolized by a pyramid structure so closed that it defies the logic of national sovereignty. 3 asset management firms currently manage a combined capital that far exceeds the gross domestic product of almost any nation on Earth: BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. BlackRock alone currently manages a staggering $14 trillion. If this corporation were an independent nation, it would immediately become the 3rd largest economy on the planet, easily surpassing historical powers like Germany, Japan, France, or India. But its directors have no interest in running for office or governing countries. They play a far more sophisticated game. They are the absolute owners of the infrastructure of human life. They unilaterally decide which multinational corporation receives the necessary credit to expand and which small family business goes bankrupt tomorrow morning. They don't need to meet in secret, darkened rooms. They don't need to, because they are the creators and owners of the rules of the game. Their strategy for domination has evolved. It is no longer enough for them to buy shares in technology or pharmaceutical companies. Through the strategic acquisition of global infrastructure partners, they have taken direct control of the very foundations of the physical world. We're talking about the seaports through which the food you buy enters, the power plants that light your home, and the water and gas distribution networks. If you control a society's basic infrastructure, you control the survival of every one of its citizens. The financial crisis looming in 2026 isn't an accidental systemic collapse, it's the deep cleaning phase. The corporate objective is to stifle small and medium-sized competitors, absorb the remnants of private property from indebted families, and leave only 2 players on the global stage: the corporate state as the sole service provider, and you, transformed into a lifelong dependent consumer. Why accelerate the destruction of the economy at this particular moment in history? The answer lies in humanity's oldest manuals of social control, because a hungry man will accept any chain that promises him a piece of bread. Economic stability breeds independent citizens, free thinkers who question power. Acute crises, on the other hand, create submissive and obedient masses willing to surrender their rights in exchange for order. Cash is the last bastion of real freedom you have left in your daily life. Cash has a dangerous quality for those in power: it is completely anonymous. The bill you use doesn't care if you buy dissident literature, seek alternative medicine, or decide to secretly help a friend financially. Cash is physical, tangible, and cannot be shut down from a central computer with the push of a button. When the bill is in your hand, ownership is real. And for that very reason, cash must die. What comes immediately after this induced collapse is not a traditional economic recovery phase. A return to the normalcy you knew in the last decade is not being planned. The definitive replacement is called CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. This isn't some fringe internet theory. Public data from international financial institutions is clear: Over 94% of the world's central banks are already in the final stages of technical testing and implementation of their own digital platforms. Under the so-called Agora project, coordinated by the Bank for International Settlements, major global powers are already unifying their systems and ledgers into a single, unified network. Don't confuse this with your current bank's apps or a regular credit card. CBDCs represent the birth of programmable money. This means that money is no longer a neutral store of value, but rather software with terms of use imposed by the central issuer.